Hello, fellow detectives. Before we get into this episode of Treachery, please remember I am judging these players based off of an edit of this TV show. Their devious deeds do not define them as total people, so please don't send them any hate for being up to no good, for that is the name of this game. Enjoy the episode. One player is banished after a showdown like never before. And we have 4 on death row. Welcome to another recap of Season 3, Episode 4 of Traitors Australia. This is Treachery. Hello, my fellow detectives, and welcome back to another recap of Season 3 of Australian Traitors. We're up to Episode 4, and this time things are a little different because nobody has been murdered at breakfast. And our traitors have to hide the fact that they have put up 4 people to face potential elimination. We have a lot to talk about this episode because not only that, but we have seen Henry's banishment as well. But first, let's get stuck into that breakfast and our 4 on death row. So, our 4 faithful on death row are Claudia, Rachel, Gamble and Reese. And I have to say, some of our traitors are doing better jobs at acting as faithful in other times than they were in this moment. Alex, unfortunately, I'm looking at you, because I would not have been convinced that you did not have a clue with how you were acting at that breakfast, but I understand. I'm not a morning person either, so I get it. The group, however, I think were fairly shocked at this twist. I would have been if I was in their position, I think, as well. I did love Reese turning around and being like, I hate you, traitors. We're going to come to Reese later because he wins a tug-of-war dressed as a pseudo-French mime. So put a pin in that one. We will get there soon enough. I don't know if I agree with our traitors' choices for death row. I especially think that putting Rachel and Gamble in there is a bit of a deranged one. Because if you think about it, if they get rid of Rachel, the only person they're proving wrong is Kira. Nobody else is after her. So what purpose does that serve? And then speaking of purpose served, Gamble is really sitting back and observing at the moment from what we've seen in the edit. So she is no real threat to them at any stage thus far. And while I agree she can be unpredictable, I mean that is a compliment, Gamble, I think voting her out right now makes absolutely no sense. You would be better, if you want to target a housewife, go for Chrissy. Because Chrissy is really in the thick of it at the moment. We saw that at this round table. So, arguably, you would be better to get rid of somebody who's really in the thick of it, who you could throw suspicion on multiple people for her removal, than Gamble, who at the moment is sitting back. I think she, if she survives, could seriously be like a tiger and attack quite well towards the end of the game, but I guess we'll see. We're going to stay with our ill-fated 4 for now as we head straight into the challenge for this episode. And this one was interesting. This was a battle royale, if you will, of our ill-fated 4 trying to save their lives. First, in a cage untying match, we then saw them build a tower out of rocks on the beach. And the final challenge was a challenge of strength and dexterity that was accomplished by a pseudo-French mime in Reese. I was really shocked at the results of these mini challenges. First of all, that our faithful didn't win more money. They had $21,000 up for grabs and only got 6. I tell you what, if there's anything that these faithfuls suck at more than finding traitors, it's winning money. This is going to be the smallest prize pot of any traitors worldwide if this keeps going. So that's not going to end well, because all of them want money. So you would think they would be doing a better job to accomplish the task to win the money. But apparently not. I gotta be honest with you, I was incredibly sad that Gamble lost that first round. I am a bit of a Gamble stan in this household, so I was very sad for her to see her trapped in that box. Claudia surprised me with the nails, but then promptly disappointed me with her tower building skills. Reese, though, I think has to be the surprise packet of this entire challenge. I did not take him to be a challenge beast, but maybe, just maybe, these faithful need to watch out because he might be. Or maybe it was just luck. It could have just been luck. Maybe the mimeness rubbed off on him, I don't know. Before we head to our break and talk about that banishment, I want to talk about a couple more things from before the challenge. First of all, Rob, what are you doing? How? I really want to get into Rob's head at this moment in time that we're seeing and go, how do you think that Kirby is a faithful? She played Survivor. She's good at manipulating people. Again, I mean that does compliment Kirby. I still don't get how he doesn't see it. And he's literally sat next to Henry and Chrissy, and he's going, oh, I think she's a faithful. Like, what? It makes no sense. And Henry's like, oh, new information, good. And then Rob's like, nah, we're cool. What is happening? And then you've got the other group in the other room going, what if there's 3 traitors in this bunch? Well, ding, 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 ding. Correct. Maybe don't automatically go and assume there isn't. I know I did say in the previous episode I thought it would have been smart if they had put a traitor in the mix, but this lot don't think that far ahead, I don't think. I think they think there's more heat on them than there actually is. And I am going to say something potentially a tiny bit controversial here. I think that this could very much turn into a 1 is stronger than 3 moment with Kirby throwing the other 2 under the bus to save herself, which is a very treacherous thing to do, so not a bad thing by any means. But I just foresee it, and I'm not even talking about our next time preview, but I just do not get the sense that these 3 are actually as tight as they seem to be if it all came down to brass tacks. But maybe I'm reading into things. Because, see, the thing is, we also saw it in the confessional, and again, this is a compliment. I also feel like Alex would throw any of the other 2 under the bus as well. But it is, at the end of the day, a solo game, so it makes sense, doesn't it? After the break, we are going to get into that banishment. They may as well rename the Roundtable UFC Personal Grudge Match and just put up a little tent beside the conclave and let them just ding ding go at it, because honest to God, where do we start? Well, I'll figure that out, and I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back, fellow detectives. It's time to talk about a roundtable that I apologize in advance is probably going to make me incredibly angry because I'm still not over it. These faithful are so close to playing another Season 2 Dum Dums game where they just don't see the wood for the freaking trees. It's like, wake up, sheeple! Come on! I mean, sure, go after Dicko because he's all leading you down the garden path anyway, as Alex did tell us. So, by all means, go after Dicko. Because we've got to get you back on track somehow. I just don't understand how they're just voting all in the wrong direction. And I have to be honest with you, I feel like Dicko, we saw it in the car, I feel like Dicko is just being really spiteful. He obviously doesn't like Henry's way of playing the game, and that's fine. But there's a bit of a weird energy going on here, because it genuinely feels, rather than hunting traitors, we've got these faithful just taking out personal grudges upon one another. I mean, look at Rachel and Kira, for goodness sake, even though they say they love each other. How can you love each other if you're going at each other like this? I don't think any of them are focused on the actual mission at hand. As we saw Gretel say, do you know how to play this game? You know it's bad when the ringmaster of Ruin pipes up going, what are you doing? Hello? Ding, 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 ding. Because that's essentially what she did. She pulled the silent alarm of the traitors, if you will. And thank God somebody did, because maybe, just maybe, they'll listen. Do I have my doubts? Absolutely. This round table was devastating, because you really saw Henry's heart break. And it just got me, because I really appreciate somebody that comes in and really has a good crack at the game. So I sincerely hope that maybe, just maybe, like Cam, I feel like Henry would be a good potential returnee, because this was just draining. Not only was he right on the money about Kirby, but he was very ready to do what he needed to get the traitors out to help the faithful. And they've just thrown that resource out the window. Like, how dumb can you be? And to see him break like that, I was like, you poor man. You just wanted to play this game, have fun, and play it in your trademark style. And there's no harm in that. In actual fact, I thought it was fantastic television. But alas, Henry has bitten the dust. But that leaves us with a very interesting question. Who, out of Gamble, Claudia, and Rachel, is going home? I'm deeply concerned that it's Gamble, because it seems like the traitors want to get a housewife out the game, if we take what they said in the conclave as fact. They would be stupid to get rid of Rachel because she's only being targeted by one person. I mean, I know it was a little different in this round table, but by the by, she has been. So I don't think that one really makes sense. And Claudia, well, Claudia's name has been thrown out there. So I feel bad saying this, because I don't mind Claudia either. I think she's given us some good television. But I think it might be Claudia. Mainly because there is no world in which I am willing to see Miss Gamble Bro go home, especially after giving us that wonderful Captain Jack Sparrow impersonation, even if she didn't mean to. And I don't think Rachel should go home yet. It just doesn't make sense to me. Plus, I kind of want to see her fight with Chrissy some more. But there you have it. That is my whistle-stop recap of episode 4 of season 3 of the Traitors Australia. Thank you for another magical week of Traitors Chaos. I am loving covering this show and having you all along for the ride, as I'm going to try and not get emotional, because for those of you who have just joined me for Traitors, I've been doing this for over 6 years now, in some way, shape or form, covering some way sort of reality television, and I love it. And to see you all come along for the ride with this means the absolute world. So thank you. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and leave a 5-star rating on whatever podcasting app you're listening on. Or if you're watching, please leave me a comment over in the YouTube comments, because I would love to hear your theories, thoughts, and ruminations on what on earth these faithfuls and traitors are up to. We are going to have a lot to talk about next week, if that next time preview is anything. But in the meantime, please stay safe out there, because it's treacherous. I'll see you soon.